Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of This Week in the XFL. I'm your host, as always, the referee representing XFL Newsroom, the #1 source in XFL news. That's right, baby, and we got a big news week in front of us. We got a lot of different things to talk about. Everything from quarterbacks being signed by the league to a little bit more draft information to a current head coach being inducted to a Hall of Fame, all the way down to some more team name rumors. I know that is the hot topic right now, but we're going to talk about something that, at least in my opinion, is just a little bit bigger. The fact that yesterday, the XFL has officially signed their first player, and that player, without a doubt, is going to make an impact in this league, at least if you ask me. So former Oklahoma and Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Landry Jones has officially signed with the league. And again, that is a big deal, right? So we talked last week about the draft invites going out. And we spoke a little bit about the fact that these players weren't being signed. They were just being invited to the draft for an opportunity to be drafted and be signed, depending on if they qualified after the things that they needed to qualify for. But this is a little bit different situation. This is the first officially signed player. Now, if you think back a couple months ago, we had reported on the possibility that the XFL was going to allocate or assign Tier 1 quarterbacks to each of the teams, right? Is this a sign that that may be happening? I don't know, but it kind of seems like it, because again, if the people that are receiving draft invites aren't being signed, they're only eligible for the draft, and Landry Jones is now signed. The league said they don't know what team he's going to, so again, that could mean it's the draft. It could mean we might have a different draft round just for the Tier 1 quarterbacks. But I'll tell you this, if they are being assigned to different teams, I will be shocked. I will be amazed, and I will be surprised if he doesn't land in Dallas with his former coach, Bob Stoops. And I think that's perfect. They have a great working relationship together, and now they can continue that relationship. He can help him build back up to his status that he was in college. Again, the XFL, although it is a traditional football game, is going to be different than the NFL. It's probably going to be more similar to college football, and that is where Mr. Landry Jones shined. So I am signed up on this news. I usually don't start off these broadcasts with the biggest news because we have some big news left to talk about, but I had to get this one out of the way. I'm super excited that we're starting to see the league sign players, and it sounds like more are coming. So directly after the league put out their press release making this announcement, CEO and Commissioner Oliver Luck joined the Colin Cowherd show, and he said the league is going to be signing 7 more quarterbacks over the next few weeks. So 3-4 weeks, we should know 7 more quarterbacks. So I'm assuming these are our Tier 1 quarterbacks. And again, now it leaves the question, are they going to be assigned? Are they going to be a part of the draft? Is there going to be a different draft for Tier 1 quarterbacks? I don't know. We're learning more information every day. Like I said, this is the best time to be an XFL fan. We're seeing everything unravel in front of us. People are focused on the team names, and that is a big part of it. But as you can see, we're getting more and more exciting news every day. And that's awesome, right? It's not going to be as exciting next year after the league has survived. It's just not. It'll be fun. People will be more engaged. We'll be growing more fans. But it's so rare that you can be a part of something in the building stages. So That's why we're doing this thing. That's why we're having so much fun while we're doing it. So we spoke about Landry Jones. We spoke about his ties to Mr. Bob Stoops, coach and general manager of XFL Dallas. Well, we have some news for him because just this Monday, he himself was inducted into the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. And you know what? It couldn't have happened to a more deserving coach. The dude took that team to heights that it never saw before him and haven't seen since, right? Not to say that they won't. Stoops had a crazy career with Oklahoma. He had a 190-48 record. That's pretty legit. He won the 2000 Orange Bowl victory, right? Again, legit coach. And he's the only coach in football history or BCS Bowl history to win all of the bowl games. So the Sugar, the Cotton, the Fiesta, the Rose, and the Orange Bowl. He's won them all. He's the only person to do it. And let me remind you, he's the winningest coach in Oklahoma history. Sign him up. I can't believe he wasn't in this Hall of Fame sooner, but it's great to see the XFL not only has great minds, but they have Hall of Fame coaches running these teams. And again, if we go back to our previous story, if we get a Landry Jones in there, coached by Mr. Bob Stoops, anything can happen. We can see yards go. Anything can happen, right? We might see the glory days of Landry Jones. We may not have seen his best time yet. And I think if he does end up with Mr. Stoops, we are going to see a return to his heyday. But again, congratulations, Bob Stoops. You deserved it. Hall of Fame coach, coaching in the XFL. So with all of this talk of the draft, you gotta know that the XFL is doing some scouting, right? We know that they did the spring league events. We know that they hosted 8 different summer showcases, right? We know that they're looking at other leagues, and now it seems to be coming out that they're specifically looking at a few quarterbacks in the CFL. Now, something to premise this piece with is this scouting that they're doing, more than likely, any of these players would not be eligible for this season. So again, it kind of proves that the XFL is looking at things in the long term. They're looking for players for next year as well. Is currently scouting the Rough Riders quarterback, Cody Vajaro. And he became the starting quarterback after the first week when their starter got injured. And since then, he's been on a pretty good roll. He's currently on a 4-game winning streak. It could be 5 this week. So, you know, I would love to see these types of players get a chance in the XFL. This guy knows what he's doing. He has a little bit of experience in the CFL. He's played for a couple teams, but I'm sure he would love to come play American football in America. And there's no better opportunity for that right now than the XFL. And this is great news, right? Because I know a lot of people don't watch the CFL, and I think a lot of it has something to do with the fact that it's the Canadian Football League. And quite honestly, it's not that easy to find. But I think if people had a chance to watch it, they would enjoy what they saw. And there are a lot of great players up there that are going to come to the XFL. There's no doubt about it. We've already seen some of the coaches come down to the XFL, right? You look at the June Jones, you look at Tressman, a few others, right? And speaking of Tressman, right, he's built the CFL South down in Tampa Bay, right? So I would not doubt if they have their eyes on some specific players up in that league as well. So again, this is some news for down the line, but like I mentioned, it really shows that the league is looking at things long term. And that's a good thing, right? They expect that it's going to last longer than the original XFL, than the AAF, hopefully longer than the USFL, and hopefully 10 years from now, we're looking back on these videos and we laugh. And I fully expect to be doing just that. So last week, we had 2 Q&As with 2 team presidents, right? We had Houston, We had LA. Well, guess what? Next week, St. Louis. This is your opportunity. Team president Kurt Hunzecker is having a Q&A of his own. So it's going to be downtown at Bar Louie. We'll have a link to the map down in the description. The event takes place between 5:30 and 7 p.m. And like I said, I've been to 2 of these events for Houston. They are must-attend events. If you are a fan in the St. Louis area, you gotta go. This is your opportunity to ask any question you have about the league and ask it right to an executive of the league, right? If you're gonna get the answer you want, you might as well get it straight from the horse's mouth. And this is your chance to do so. They're fun, and it's also a great chance to meet other XFL fans in your area. Because as you know, or as I hope you know, tailgate parties will be happening before the game. I know I'm gonna be holding some in Houston. I know other people will be doing it across the country. You might as well meet those friends now, right? Find out what kind of snacks they like. What kind of barbecue are you gonna grill? Have the music conversation. It's gonna be good. Get to know these people now. Get to know the league, right? There's a lot of interesting facts that come out of these, right? And especially when you look at it from a local level, this is a great way for the league to engage with the community. You don't really see the NFL holding these types of events. I cannot go meet with the team president of the Texans. I might be able to meet the team president of the Lions if I lived in Detroit, because come on, it's the Lions. But one day we're gonna restore that roar, and hopefully it's this year. Come on, Matty Stafford, oil that arm up and let's go. But sorry to digress. You should attend this event if you're in St. Louis. I know we have a couple folks in our Discord that are in St. Louis, so I wouldn't doubt if they're going. Hopefully we'll have some inside information on that event. But again, it takes place August 20th between 5:30 and 7. Be there or be square. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about the possibility that team names would be coming last week. And as you know, last week has come and gone and there is still no team names. Well, we have a little bit more information, but I don't think we're any closer to knowing the answer. So we're gonna talk about it anyway, because people like the rumors. Put on the tinfoil hats and let's get the conspiracy started, because maybe we'll get something out of this. And I do have some thoughts. None of this is verified or guaranteed, but I do have some thoughts. So just the other day, Houston XFL head coach June Jones joined ESPN 1420, the Sports Note, and he had a little bit of interview, right? And during the interview, he announced a couple things that I think might pique your interest. So first, the big one that he said that XFL team names are coming August 21st, right? So immediately after hearing that, I reached out to a couple folks in the league and they said this is not true. Now, I don't know if it's true or not. Now, I'm gonna put a little speculation cap on here. Just speculation, no facts, no truth behind this. Speculation cap is on. I'm thinking yes, the team names are not coming August 21st. I don't think we're hearing the team names August 21st. But I think there is a possibility that we get some sort of announcement about the team names on or close to the 21st. It is possible. Again, completely speculation. Don't bring out the pitchforks. Don't bring out the mobs if this does not happen. This is just speculation. Because I have to wonder why he would say that date if he didn't know something, right? So that's just the first piece of it. August 21st, he says team names are coming. People in the league say it's not. I think it might be an announcement about the team names. The second thing he brought up was the date of the draft. Now, according to this interview, he's saying that the XFL Draft is going to take place October 15th and 16th, right? So again, I don't know if this is true. This is just what he said in the interview. Now, I do like the idea of that because it is a 2-day draft, right? It shows the importance of the league. They're not skimping out on the little things. We know each team is getting 70 players that they're drafting. a total of 560. So it's very possible that we might see some information on these dates. Now, I don't know. Again, keep the pitchforks at home. Keep the mobs away from the social media. I don't know if this will happen, but I had to report on it. I just had to. So we started off this episode talking about Landry Jones signing with the XFL, right? Now I'm going to switch focus to another quarterback that played in Texas, mind you, that there's mixed feelings about. I would say 50% would love this man in the league, 50% probably not so much. But I'm hoping if he does join the league and he plays the way that he can play, people will change their opinion. So it sounds like Johnny Manziel says that football is absolutely in his future, right? So over last weekend, he had an interview with TylerPaper.com, and he put it all on the line. He said football is happening. He didn't say where, he didn't say what league, but he says it is absolutely in his future. Now, again, I don't know if he's just thinking with high hopes or if he knows something that we don't know. Now, we had spoken about a couple months ago during when he was in Houston, and he said he would love to sign with the XFL and specifically one of the Texas teams. Again, mainly because of the proximity of where he played in college for Texas A&M. You know, again, could he end up in Dallas or Houston? I really think it all depends on if the league does assign the tier 1 quarterbacks. So I think it all depends on if the league plans on assigning those tier 1 quarterbacks. We talked about it at the top of the episode here. And quite honestly, with the signing of Landry Jones, it seems like they might be headed that direction. Again, I don't know, but that's what it seems like just from that type of announcement. So with this announcement, with Johnny Football saying that he is going to be playing football soon in the future, does this mean he might be one of the next announcements from the league? Now, he didn't attend any of the summer showcase events. He didn't attend any of the spring league events, at least this year. But we have seen people get draft invites that didn't attend either of those events as well, right? So, again, I don't mind if Johnny Football comes to the league. I think it'll bring good notoriety. Again, there's no such thing as bad press as long as people are talking about you and you're saying your name correctly. And if you get an attitude, if you get a name like a Johnny Manziel in your league, people will be talking about it, right? Good or bad, people will be talking about it. And there will be people that didn't know the XFL was coming back that will be intrigued by that announcement. And again, this is just my opinion. Don't kill me for it, right? So speaking of the draft invites, you know, again, last week we spoke about the invites going out, at least the first wave. Well, we started an XFL Draft tracker, so head over to xflnewsroom.com. You should every day anyway. We have the news before anybody else does. But check out the draft tracker. We're almost up to 100 folks, at least at the time of the recording, so we might hit 100 by the time of publication, but we're at 95 right now in the first week, and this is just the first wave, so roughly 800 of these invites are going out. We're about to start seeing cuts from the NFL, so this list is going to grow. But I'm excited. Again, a huge news week, no team names, but possibly some information on when we maybe hear or see them. So I'm getting excited. We're hearing great news every day. But hey, before I let you go, if you didn't know, we're also on Facebook and Twitter. Give us a follow at XFL Newsroom. Sign you up. And since we're on YouTube, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to see when we're dropping new videos. Some are going to be live and some are going to be pre-recorded just like this one. So until next time, sign you up.